Alright, so this video is basically going to be a continuation from how you prepare your drawing page and how we actually print the drawing to a PDF, or how we PDF a drawing. So obviously the first thing that I'm going to do here, I'm going to make the templates for the drawing, and you all know that we use millimeters. However, one difference that's going to be different from the things that we've done before, for precision, I'm going to use 0.0 this time. All right. And the reason for this is because the page size that we're using, the tabloid size, if you actually Google the exact measurement of the tabloid size, it's 279.4 mm by 431.8 mm. So that's why for the units, I'm using one decimal place, right? 0.0 for the precision. So I'm going to start by drawing the rectangle for the drawing paper size. And if you can remember earlier, I said that the length is 431.8 mm. So you type in that measurement, 431.8. Then you press your tab key to switch to the width, and the width is going to be 279.4. All right. So those are the exact measurements that we have here for the tabloid size paper or the ledger size paper, right? So now I can use my offset function, and we know that the border has to be 15 mm. So I'm going to offset this going inwards 15 mm. All right. So we have the page along with the border, which is 15. And now we can start entering the information for the title block. So the information that we need to enter, it needs to be entered in a table. So you're going to type in table and then enter, and you're going to notice that this window pops up here. So for the amount of columns, we want 2, and for the amount of rows, we could either put 2 or 3. It doesn't really matter if you have extra, because we could always modify the table. We can always delete any extra rows, right? So for the column width, doesn't really matter what measurement you use. I'm going to use 200. However, for the height, you want to use 21 there. Sorry, not 21. It's 2 rows, so you want to use 7 there. Alright, for the first row cell style, you want to change that to header, and then you click on OK, and it's going to give you your table. Right, so I'm just going to leave this outside here for now. It's going to allow me to type in the information that I want, so I'm just going to press escape. And the nice thing with the table is that when you click on it, you could actually adjust the size or resize it to however you gotta resize it. So if the information that you're typing in is too small, you could resize the table. If it's too big, you could also resize the table. All right. So first thing here, whenever you want to type in any information into the table, you simply double click on the cell or the row or the column that you want to type in your information, and this is going to come up. All right. But you also need to remember that before you start typing in your information, you need to change the measurement here. So I'm going to change this to 5. And since we're using decimal, since we're using one decimal place, I have to type in 5.0, right? And then I'm going to press enter. The the lettering is going to appear big, but that's okay. And first things first, we need to have the title for the drawing that you're inserting here, right? So if it's Archimedean spiral, if it's an involute, you simply type in the title of the drawing there, right? And when you finish typing it in, you just click on close text editor and it's going to appear there. All right. Now, if we want to, we can click on the information that we just typed there, and using um, this here at the top here where the arrow is, we could justify it to where we want to justify it. All right. So if you want it to the left, if you want it center, or if you want it right, it's actually pretty similar to using Microsoft Word, right? So I'm going to type in the other information here. That's going to be your name, and I forgot to set the measurement, right? You gotta remember to set the measurement. Right, so that's going to be your name. And I'm just going to justify this to go to the left. So for the rest of the information, the order in which you have them doesn't really matter. So this one could be scale, the scale of the drawing. And I'm just going to justify that. This one could be dimension, and the dimension is always going to be in mm. And then on the right hand side here, we could have projection. Oh, I need to set the size. Yes, on the right hand side, we could have projection. And if the drawing is a 2-dimension drawing, it's going to be orthographic. If it's 3-dimensional, then it's either going to be isometric or whatever type of pictorial drawing you're doing. All right. So you type in whether it's orthographic or isometric or whatever. And I'm also going to justify this to the left. And here you could have drawing number. And like I said, I think in class I had a different order in which I had typed this information, but that's fine as long as you have the necessary information in your title block. All right. And the last two things, which is going to be checked by, and this is going to be your teacher's signature being in that title block. And the last one would be marked by, and this is going to be for the moderator that's going to be checking your drawings. All right, so that's pretty much the information that you need. And the good thing is with this table here is that if you need to adjust the width of the row, you could adjust it. or if you need to adjust the height of the row, you could also do that. All right. But whenever you adjusting the width, you need to select the entire table. That's how you're going to adjust the width. All right. So I'm not going to waste any time by typing in any other information here. What I'm just going to do, I'm just going to move my title block using this corner to be at the right hand side corner of my drawing paper here. So this is pretty much how you prepare your drawing paper, right? Along with the title block. All right. So what we could do now, we could actually save this as a drawing template. So at the top here where you have this arrow next to the icon, you should have this option to save as when you hover your mouse over this arrow, and you should have the option to save it as a drawing template. All right. And it's important that you choose where you want to save it. If you save it in documents or if you save it on the desktop, I'm going to save it on the desktop for easy access, and I'm just going to change the name to drawing sheet. All right. And well, description is not really necessary, but you could always say that it's the drawing sheet or CXC. So that's pretty much it for the actual drawing sheet. So now we could set the size of the drawing paper, and you can see that at the bottom here, usually by default you're on this tab here that's called model, right? This is where you do all your drawings and so on. And if you want to set your drawing size and your drawing paper size and all of that, by default they have two layouts here, layout 1 and layout 2. All right, so I'm going to click on layout 1. By default, this is what layout 1 is going to look like, and we don't really need layout 2, so I'm just going to delete layout 2 because we don't need that. Right now, on layout 1, they already give you this viewport here by default. I'm just going to click on the edge of it to select it, and I'm going to delete it because we don't need that. So we have to set the drawing paper size here now. I'm going to right click on layout, and you should have this option here called page setup manager, and we're going to modify this. For the printer, you could have either this one here, which is print to PDF, or you could have this option here, DWG to PDF, but I usually like to use this one here, print to PDF. All right, now for the paper size, you would want to set it to this one here, which is tabloid. All right, now next thing on scale, you're going to notice it's in inches, but we don't want that. We want it to be in mm. So 1 mm, and the unit here has to be 1 as well. All right. Drawing orientation landscape by default, and plot style, we can change this to the forest option here, and once we click on OK, it's going to change the paper size to the one that we have here. So now what I could do, I could select this entire thing here and right click, and you should have this option called clipboard. You want to select the one that says copy with base point, and you're going to choose this corner here as your base point. So now that it's copied there, we go to layout, we right click, clipboard and you paste it as a block. So you should be able to insert it on the edge of the page here. So you just move your cursor directly where the edge is. You might want to zoom in as much as possible, and you want to insert it directly there. All right, so that it fits perfectly on the drawing paper. And the nice thing is, I think if I click on paper here, oh, I don't have a viewport, so I need to insert a viewport. So you want to type in this command viewport and you press enter, and you want to choose this one here, which is single. You click on OK. It's going to ask you to specify the force corner, so you can choose the top left and you can choose the bottom right. That's where the drawing has to be. And now if I click on paper, it's going to switch to the model tab, and whatever drawing I have on the model tab here is going to be displayed here, right? But I don't really have any drawing on this here, right? This is where I just created the template, right? So I'm going to show you now how we're going to use this in an actual drawing. So I'm just going to delete that template there since we don't need it, and I'm just going to save it so that it's and if you notice, when I click on the save icon, it's asking me if I want to save it as a actual drawing file, right? DWG. But remember, we don't want that. We want it to be used as a drawing template. So you got to see like this one here, AutoCAD drawing template. And for easy access, I'm going to save it to my desktop. You can see that I have this one that I saved just now. I'm just going to overwrite it. It's going to ask me if I want to replace it, and I'm going to replace it. All right. So I have my drawing template saved there. And now what I could do, I could open a drawing that I did before. And this here is an assembly drawing, right? This is for people that do the mechanical option. It's a CXC drawing, and I'm just going to show you how I'm going to display this on my drawing paper. All right, so what I want to do, I want to go to layout here, and well, I don't need this here, so I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to right click on layout, and there should be this option here that's called from template. So when I click on from template and I navigate to desktop, this is where I saved my my drawing template. I can select the one that I saved, open it, and then I click on OK, and you can see that it made another layout here, and I have everything that I need here now. All right, so now if I want to display this drawing here on the layout that I have here, and just to make things more simple, I'm just going to delete the layouts that I'm not using. Remember, you need to use this command, which is viewport, and this one here, single, and using this corner to the opposite corner here, and you can see that my drawing is being shown there. All right, but obviously you don't want it to be shown with all the grid lines and so on, right? So I'm just going to switch it to the model space, and with the model space I'm able to basically manipulate it a little. And if I click on this here, I can disable the grid. And where my mouse is here, I could actually adjust the scale. So if I choose 1 to 1, well, 1 to 1 is going to be too big, right? On the drawing is not being shown clearly. So this means I need to use reduction, right? So let's try 1 to 2. All right, 1 to 2 looks much better. So this is how you would know what information to put in your scale, right? What I could do now is click back on model, and the drawing is going to be shown there. And if you notice, this viewport is cutting into my title block a little, but I think I should be able to modify it and bring it up a little there. And that's basically it.